Number one, I didn't enjoy hugging and shaking people's hands before the pandemic, so this has been a real plus for me. Number two, we're probably all going to die from cancer in about 20 years with all the chemicals we're exposing ourselves to by cleaning things over and over and over. Number three, for every person saved by self isolating with COVID is probably another one dead or harmed by the effects of shutting down the economy. Think about all the negative impact that it has on everyone: financial loss, divorce, abuse, suicide, a return to drugs, alcohol. It's a lose lose situation. We just need to choose the better of the lose. Number four, I hate smelling someone's bad breath. It can turn a good mood into a bad one if it goes on too long. Number five, strength lies not in protecting your belief systems, but wondering what you're wrong about. Number six, I am personally interested in talking to people that read books so that they can improve, but not so much with people who believe all their own thoughts and subconsciously defend them. Number seven, the scientific revolution is about the idea of progress. It was built around the understanding that we are all ignorant and things should be challenged so we can improve. Number eight, if some dumbass in the gym is struggling with their self-esteem and they drop the weight loudly just to gain attention, they need to ask themselves if they know the difference between a concentric and an eccentric contraction. Concentric is harder than an eccentric, so don't drop the damn weight and startle me. Number nine, if you're following why we have an oil problem, it's because the economy shut down and so did the oil demand. So these crude oil companies kept working, causing storage issues. So if you make and sell shirts and no one's buying shirts, don't keep making shirts. The same thing with the oil. Many companies are losing a lot of money just in storage of the crude oil, and the crude oil out of the earth does have a lifespan, so the best place to store it is in the ground, not by pumping right now. Number 10, when you ask somebody what part of the country they're from and they're just being vague, they're going to tell you that they're from the West, the Midwest, the East, or the South, but they never say the North. Number 11, I wouldn't be investing in movie theaters right now. I think they're actually on their way out. We saw drive-in movies go out, so I think the brick and mortar ones can go as well. Number 12, sometimes we spend the whole evening discussing or arguing about which movies we want to watch, and then we never watch the movie. There's just too many options. You know, back in the day when we had 3 stations on the TV, made you want to go out and say, let's go to the drive-in. Number 13, I love capitalism. Our country has become great because of capitalism, and our ability to be able to borrow money and to go into debt actually fuels progress. So the purpose of capitalism is to take the profits of production and reinvest it to be able to increase more production and growth in that company. So wealth is different. It's accumulating money and not using it for productive activities. So companies that follow this capitalistic creed, well, eventually they turn into corporations. So we can see what happened with Amazon. So eventually it's not really capitalism anymore because we have less options. So we're morphing into something different, and it actually concerns me. So many have turned into basically low-paid slaves or moderately paid commoners, just like in the past, forcing social programs to come about for those that are left behind. It's so damn complex. Number 14, I read this scenario in a book about capitalism, and it's quite interesting. So say that you have a contractor, and he goes to the bank and he deposits $1 million. A baker goes to the bank and says, I would like to borrow $1 million because I am going to build a bakery. So the baker goes to the contractor and says, build me this bakery, and the contractor charges the baker $1 million. So now the contractor takes that $1 million and puts it in the bank. So how much does the bank actually have, and how much does the contractor actually have? Well, the bank has $1 million and the contractor has $2 million. So banks are allowed to loan $10 for every dollar that they have. So we got to know that this is kind of a Ponzi scheme, and things are going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and they're vulnerable. Number 15, electric cars and gas cars are like when we transitioned from flip phones to smartphones. Initially, all the unprogressives are going to give resistance, but when they see the two cars the same price and they look at the electric car and they say, I don't have any gas costs with this car, um, they're going to buy it. They're going to buy the electric car. So watch, I'm not going to be wrong on this. Tesla is going to be the pioneer, and all the settlers will come in and compete. Number 16, I'd like to end with a quote from an author. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I think it is Khalil Gibran. This is what he states. Our anxiety does not come from thinking about the future, but wanting to control it. Peace.